Nikita, I know you've been around this group. You know this group, but it seems like even this team's down in the third period, nothing phases you guys. I know they go up 2-1, but what was kind of the mood on the locker, on the bench whenever that happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's been like that ever since I was here with this group. I mean, last year, so many comeback wins, you're never out of it. So I know that was the same message with this group this year. I know last time they played Tucson, it was 3-0, and we won in overtime. So it's just, the belief, no one's going down. Everyone's just pushing forward. And, yeah, Bale's got a big goal there, and then we ended up getting the win. So it's huge.
Take me through overtime. It's your first of the season. You've only been here for a short amount of time here, but huge one for this group against a team that you were tied with in the standings coming into this one.
Yeah, it's a big win. The standings are so tight this time of year. Everyone's around the same point mark. Everyone's fighting for playoffs. So, and 1 point's good, but that extra point can go a long way. When you get down all the way till the end. So, yeah, it's you want to get 2 points this time of year.
They talked about the coaching staff. You had 8 games coming into this one till the All-Star break, and it was getting the game back together. Do you guys feel you came out here kicking off this road trip on the right foot, playing Gulls hockey that you were looking for?
Yeah, I think Abbotsford, we kind of started that, and then I think Coachella, we played all right, but it wasn't, the same thing as Abbotsford. And, yeah, I think today, it was a little more of a sloppy game, but for the most part, we were good defensively, and it was a tight checking game. That's how all these games are going to be. So you have to find a way to win and, battle till the end, and that's what we did. So.
You get these guys again here tomorrow, right back at it, so you get the kind of playoff feel. What do you expect when you come back out and see these guys tomorrow night? Same thing here on a Wednesday night?
Yeah, same thing, back and forth, track meet game. These guys are fast. They're going to come out right out of the gates. It's really hard in this league to get a sweep. So, they're going to come out from the start pushing. We just got to match the energy and push right back.
Just as we were just talking off air, man, it's you can't kill the Gulls, as you said. So another third period. What's the mood on the bench when you guys, that goal goes up, they go up 2-1? What's kind of being said?
Yeah, I think it's consistently no panic out of us. I don't know what the analytics are, but I know in the third period we're one of the, definitely the top 5 teams in the league. So there wasn't really anything. Obviously that goal goes in. You don't want to go down, at any point. But for us, there was no panic. We know we can go right down to the last 2 seconds of the game. But like you said, yeah, you got to kill the Gulls.
It's a power play goal from you that ties things up. The power play last little bit maybe hasn't produced where it wants to be, but comes up clutch when you need it. What was kind of how it was drawn up? Because I guess maybe not drawn up because it was kind of like a mix of the 2 power play units, but you end up in front where we know to see you.
Yeah, I played a lot in the middle this year. Been put back in the net front where I've been most of my career. But I think for us we have 2 units that can score, 2 units that can produce. So I think when you are struggling like that, being direct, getting pucks to the net front, and kind of outnumbering them at the net's kind of been the main theme. And it was a great shot by Loons. Kind of saw things open up, and like I said, great shot by him, and I was able to get a stick on it.
You guys are familiar with Nikita, know his game, what he can produce. It's been only just a handful of games he's been down here, but when you guys saw him take off from the bench 2-on-1, do you really expect this is going to be it?
Yeah, I think he's got big time speed, and I think for us, that's a great addition for us, getting a guy like that coming down motivated. Obviously using his speed, to generate chances, and I know for him, he's looking to score more goals, and it's good to see that one going for him.
See him one more time. Last time against the Roadrunners in this building, you guys can sweep them in their own building. What's the motivation coming in tomorrow when you drop the puck one more time?
Yeah, I think it's much of the same. It's a building that sometimes can kind of be tough to play in, but bring your own energy and making sure we're ready to go from the drop of the puck tomorrow.
Matt, it may not have been the cleanest of games, but your team again finds a way in this building. What'd you like about the way your team responded here after last Saturday and coming in here on Tuesday?
I think we were slow with the puck in the first period, and Tucson's pressure can catch you off guard if you're not ready. And then I thought we settled into the game, and the first period's a little bit back and forth. We had some good looks. They had a couple. And the second, for moments, felt like a track meet. It's a huge chance on one side, huge chance on the other side, and it's definitely not our style of hockey, but we settled into something in the third. And we had a coverage issue on the goal against, but then it's like, all right, now you look at the clock and you've got a lot of time to respond. It's a big time power play goal, and then Nesty was a hero in overtime. So there's a lot to like about that game.
I asked this to Nikita too, and he's been around this group for a couple of years, and you've been around this team we've talked about this for a long time, the way there's just kind of, this group's never out of it. But what was the mood on the bench like after that goal went in, that they went up 2-1? Because I imagine with everything we've seen from this team, it was pretty even keeled.
It was quiet, but it didn't feel like a panicky, nervous quiet. It was like, oh man, now we got to come back, type of a quiet. But then it quickly turned into action with good shifts, to respond, and good momentum. We had good looks, and we were able to establish the kind of game that we wanted to play.
You get the power play goal, and special teams again. They come up clutch when you needed them. Between PK doing what he has to do, and then you get the power play goal from Justin Bailey. Special teams. What can you say about the way that just have continued here in showing up at the moments you need them?
It makes or breaks so many games. Teams strike even 5-on-5 so often, and the special teams, gives you the opportunity to seal things. And our kill was really strong. I loved some of the up ice pressure, and not even letting them into the zone on their entries. And then the power play. We had good looks. I think it was the second. Where we're all around it and weren't able to capitalize. But then being able to stay patient with it and get rewarded, that was a big deal.
Nikita Nesterenko's only been here for a little bit, but again, familiar with the team, and he's out there for the overtime winner. How have you seen him kind of grow the last couple of games, getting his feet underneath him and then being able to deliver in overtime?
It's a big adjustment for Nesty on a couple of different ways. Like, he hasn't played at this level in a while. Also, I think he sat out 13 in a row or something up top. So it's like there's an element of like gameplay. He played a couple and then came back with us. So I think he's still getting up to speed. We're still seeing everything he can do. That was a big time goal for us tonight.
You see him again tomorrow. It's the last time in this building. Everybody knows each other's tricks by this point between the Gulls and Roadrunners. What do you expect tomorrow? What do you want out of your group when you step onto the ice tomorrow night?
I think that we know their game plan. I think we have a strategy. Usually in a back-to-back, the way that you play with the puck makes the biggest difference, that you don't put yourself in spots where you got to chase. And I think that's got to be a huge point of emphasis for us.